Sometimes the biggest stories in golf don't happen on the leaderboard. They happen in boardrooms, in meeting rooms, and in decisions that could reshape the entire future of the sport. And in my opinion, that's exactly the situation Brian Rolapp is stepping into right now with the PGA Tour. Because this week presents a perfect example of the challenge he faces. On one side, you have the Arnold Palmer Invitational at Bay Hill, one of the most prestigious stops on the PGA Tour calendar, featuring an elite field and a massive $20 million purse, backed by a major sponsor like MasterCard. It's the kind of event that represents the modern vision many people have for professional golf: star players, big prizes, global attention. But at the exact same time, another tournament is taking place, the Puerto Rico Open. And that contrast, in my analysis, reveals one of the most complicated dilemmas in the entire structure of the PGA Tour. Because while Bay Hill attracts the stars and the spotlight, the Puerto Rico Open serves a completely different purpose. It gives opportunities to players who aren't in the elite tier of the tour, golfers who depend on these events to build careers, earn status, and simply stay financially competitive. Before we go further, if you enjoy golf analysis that goes beyond the tournament results and explores the bigger forces shaping the game, make sure to subscribe to Daily Golf News and leave a like on the video. It helps the channel grow and keeps these deeper discussions coming. Now let's look at the real issue here. Brian Rolapp arrived at the PGA Tour with an impressive reputation after spending more than 2 decades working in the NFL. Many expected him to bring fresh ideas, modern business strategies, and a new vision for the future of the tour. And from what we've seen so far, I believe that's exactly what he wants to do. But the challenge he's facing is enormous. The PGA Tour isn't just a sports league, it's a complex ecosystem built around players, sponsors, tournaments, exemptions, and financial opportunities. And any attempt to change that system inevitably creates tension. In my opinion, the biggest challenge Rolapp faces is balancing two very different realities. On one side, the tour wants to elevate its biggest events, tournaments with stronger fields, higher prize money, and greater global attention. Events like the Arnold Palmer Invitational represent the direction the sport is moving toward. But on the other side, there are dozens of players who rely on a packed schedule of events to make a living. For those players, smaller tournaments are not optional, they're essential. And that's why any discussion about reducing events or restructuring the calendar immediately becomes controversial. Because what looks like modernization from one perspective can look like lost opportunity from another. Another interesting point, in my view, is how the current PGA Tour system actually works behind the scenes. The Tour is often described as a player-led organization. But in practice, the structure has evolved into something more complex, a system designed to keep players competing within the tour's ecosystem by filling the calendar with events. When tournaments are scheduled across the season, players are naturally less available to compete elsewhere. So changing that structure isn't just about scheduling. It's about redefining how the entire tour operates. And right now, events like the Arnold Palmer Invitational and the Puerto Rico Open highlight that contrast perfectly. One represents the elite future of the sport. The other represents the broader base that keeps the tour functioning. So in my analysis, Brian Rolapp's biggest challenge isn't simply modernizing the PGA Tour. It's figuring out how to do that without leaving part of the tour behind. Because if the tour becomes too focused on elite events, it risks shrinking the opportunities that sustain the rest of the membership. But if it keeps expanding the schedule without focusing on prestige, it risks diluting the overall product. And somewhere between those two realities is the balance Rolapp will have to find. And honestly, I believe the decisions made over the next few years could shape the direction of professional golf for a long time. So now I'm curious to hear your perspective. Do you think the PGA Tour should focus more on elite, high-profile events like the Arnold Palmer Invitational? Or is it more important to keep a wide schedule that gives opportunities to players throughout the tour? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you enjoy golf news and deeper analysis about the future of the sport, make sure to subscribe to Daily Golf News and leave a like so you don't miss the next video. See you in the next one.